He thought he could win them back with charm. He thought he could prove his worth with strength. Snow still clung to the red rocks of Flagstaff that morning, quiet, heavy, watching. But on that cold morning in Flagstaff, Kody Brown met two kinds of silence. One in the mud and one across the table. This is the story of how a man once worshipped for his confidence, lost his voice, his power, and perhaps himself. Stay until the end, because what he whispered off camera didn't just change the Brown family, it rewrote their fate. Part 1. Once upon a time, Kody Brown led America's most famous plural family. 4 wives, 18 children, and one dream to prove that love could be shared. But what began as faith turned into fracture. By 2023, that dream had unraveled. Christine left. Janelle pulled away. Meri stayed, physically, but emotionally, she'd already moved on. And Robyn, she became the last wife standing. But what if Kody believed he could still fix it all, with a simple conversation? Producers arranged a casual sit-down. Kody, so? How have you guys been? No one answered. Seconds passed like hours. Meri mutters, busy. Janelle adds, fine. And the silence screams louder than words. The same man who once commanded every scene was suddenly the outsider in his own story. But there's one sentence Kody whispers next that producers almost cut. Off mic between takes, a nearby boom picked it up. Kody sighed and said, I don't even know who I am without them. The line hits differently now, coming from a man once known for control, ego, and faith-anchored leadership. When a narcissistic structure collapses, it's not just loss of people. It's loss of identity. That's what you see in Kody. While Robyn cried at home, the ex-wives found a new rhythm: independence, peace, and power. But America's question was simple. Was Kody finally paying for years of emotional neglect? Then came the twist, a phone call that rewrote Kody's narrative completely. Weeks after that silent meeting, a leaked call surfaced, recorded by production staff. Kody, speaking privately, admits something shocking. Kody, I thought I could get them back on camera. I thought pretending normal would make them remember us. It wasn't reconciliation. It was performance. A desperate attempt to control the storyline. The conversation wasn't about healing. It was about ratings. He's manipulating again. Meri's face said everything. Kody's still playing producer, not husband. The Brown family wasn't just breaking apart, they were breaking character. And soon, even Robyn would face the fallout. In the weeks after the episode aired, fan forums exploded. TikTok edits painted Kody as the lonely patriarch who lost his kingdom. Meri and Janelle became folk heroes of resilience. Meri's calm is power. Janelle's silence spoke louder than his words. They don't owe him closure. Meanwhile, Kody retreated. His public appearances dropped. And for the first time in years, TLC released no reunion footage. He had once said, I'm not the villain. But this time, even he seemed unsure. Still, something unexpected happened next, and it changed how America saw him. Months later, during an interview, Kody confessed he was starting therapy. He called it the hardest thing I've ever done. But fans noticed something. He didn't blame anyone this time. Kody, maybe it's time to listen, not lead. Meri built her own business empire. Janelle found new confidence in her independence. And Robyn, well, she remained, but not unscarred. Silence can hurt, but sometimes silence is healing. For Kody, it was the moment the noise finally stopped and truth began. Do you think Kody deserves redemption, or has the Brown family story finally reached its end? Tell us in the comments below. Part 2. For over a decade, Kody Brown has been the face of control, managing 4 wives, multiple households, and his own image of masculinity. But on this day, control wasn't part of the game. TLC partnered with celebrity guests for a special charity segment called Murderball Mud Challenge. The idea? Team bonding, competition, fun. But for Kody, it became a test of ego, endurance, and exposure. He wasn't just up against athletes, he was up against perception. They were champions. He was reality TV's most controversial husband. What could possibly go wrong? At first, it was harmless. The mud was thick, the field slick, and the players laughing. Kody shouted, "Let's go!" with his trademark grin, ready to prove something no one asked him to. That first hit from Eric Decker wasn't just physical. It shattered his confidence. You could tell he wasn't prepared. The athletes were in a different world. He looked winded after 2 minutes. By round 2, Kody's energy drained. By round 3, he stopped smiling. But it wasn't the tackle that broke him, it was what he heard next. It happened fast. Eric Decker charged. Shawn Johnson dodged. Kody tried to pivot, but the mud swallowed his step. He slammed into the ground. The crowd goes quiet for a beat. The camera zoomed in. His face half mud, half disbelief. That small refusal spoke volumes. For a man built on authority, help looked like weakness. But when he stood up, a mic caught a line producers didn't plan to air. Kody Brown. "I'm not losing to a woman on TV." That single sentence changed the tone of the entire event. Viewers didn't hear it live, but leaked audio surfaced days later. That's disgusting. This is why the wives left him. He can't handle strong women, even in a game. The so-called murderball moment wasn't just about mud. It became a metaphor for years of imbalance in his relationships. A visual of what fans had long suspected. Kody only feels powerful when others are beneath him. But what came next would flip even his critics' expectations. Fan comment. Finally, karma got him in the mud. Shawn Johnson handled it like a queen. Eric just did what the wives wanted to for years. Meanwhile, TLC faced backlash for airing the scene without context. Critics accused the show of exploiting humiliation for ratings. Others argued it was poetic justice. It wasn't about sports. It was about symbolism. Watching Kody fall wasn't funny. It was cathartic. But what if Kody saw it differently, not as humiliation, but as a turning point? Weeks later, Kody sat down for a post-episode interview. For the first time, his tone wasn't defensive. Kody. "Yeah, it hurt. Not just the hit, but realizing I can't be the hero in every scene. Maybe that's what life's trying to teach me." He laughed a real laugh this time. The kind that admits defeat, and maybe a hint of humility. For years, Kody Brown tried to prove his strength through control. But it took a fall deep in the mud to remind him that vulnerability is its own kind of power. Do you think Kody finally learned his lesson, or was this just another performance? Let's deep dive in full details. Part 3. For over a decade, Kody Brown preached leadership and unity. 4 wives, 18 children, one faith, his own version of order. TLC built a dynasty on his words. Season 1. Plural marriage is about love, not power. Kody Brown, 2010. But by 2023, those words rang hollow. Christine was gone. Meri and Janelle barely spoke to him. And Robyn, the last wife standing, was clinging to what was left. When TLC invited Kody to a charity Murderball event with NFL and Olympic stars, he saw a chance to rewrite his story not with words, but with action. The field was slick. The rain had turned the ground to sludge. Eric Decker, former NFL receiver, and Shawn Johnson, Olympic gold medalist, were ready. Kody was smiling for now. He told producers, "I'll show them I'm still the alpha." We thought he was joking. But this wasn't just a game. It was a battle between ego and reality, one that millions would watch frame by frame. The moment Eric Decker charged, Kody Brown's mask cracked, and so did his legacy. The hit was hard, clean, undeniable. Kody went down like a tree in wet soil. Cameras zoomed in on his face, shock, anger, and something else, humility. He was a good sport at first. Then it got weird. He didn't like taking direction. As he rose, mud dripping down his arms, a hot mic caught him muttering under his breath, words that would ignite an online storm. "Kody, I'm not losing to a woman on TV." That sentence would travel farther than the tackle itself. Days later, Kody met Meri and Janelle at a Flagstaff café for filming. The timing was cruel. His pride was still bruised. The conversation? Colder than the coffee. Meri, busy. Janelle, fine. Kody, silent nod. Viewers could feel the disconnect a man, once the center of every room, now ignored in his own story. Reddit comment. That mud hit was karma. This scene was justice. But what the fans didn't know was that Kody was already planning his next move. When the episode aired, the internet erupted. YouTube recaps, Facebook watch parties, and TikTok edits flooded feeds. Fans spoke with one voice. He finally got tackled by reality. Fan comment. Shawn was the hero we didn't know we needed. Meri and Janelle's faces said everything. He called it a charity event, but it felt like therapy for America. TLC released a statement calling the event lighthearted fun. But behind the scenes, executives were divided. Was Kody still the hero of this series, or had he become its villain? Then, weeks later, a private audio message from Kody leaked, and the tone was different. Kody. I spent years talking about faith and family. Maybe I should have been listening. That mud, it did what no argument could. It made me stop. Whether he meant it or not, that line hit fans hard. Some called it growth. Others called it performance. But for the first time, America saw Kody Brown as something new, not a husband, not a leader, just a man washed in mud and consequence. The mud washed off. The silence remained. And somewhere between ego and emptiness, Kody Brown learned that the loudest lessons come after the cameras stop rolling. Before the silence, there was laughter. Meri was the foundation, steady, loyal, endlessly patient. Janelle, the strategist. Calm logic wrapped in quiet strength. Christine, the warmth always turning chaos into laughter. And Robyn, the newcomer who changed the gravity of the Brown orbit. They once promised eternity, but somewhere between faith and fatigue, the rhythm of love turned into the echo of obligation. From fascination to frustration, America's view of Kody Brown evolved year by year. 2010-2013. Headlines read, A Modern Family Experiment. 2016. Reddit threads ask, Is Meri happy? 2020. YouTube comment. We used to envy them, now we pity them. 2023. Team Janelle trends nationwide after her separation scene airs. By the time the Murderball episode dropped, the world wasn't cheering for Kody's comeback, it was waiting for his collapse. Dr. Helen Grayson, relationship therapist. What we're witnessing isn't just divorce, it's the collapse of a power structure built on one-sided communication. Murderball exposed an internal battle. Ego doesn't train for teamwork. Once Kody fell, the facade of control fell too. Marina DeVos, reality TV analyst. Viewers love a redemption arc, but they crave accountability first. That's why the mud scene went viral. It symbolized years of emotional imbalance. In that moment, Kody became more than a man. He became a mirror for every audience member who's ever watched control masquerade as love. Long after the cameras stopped, Meri built peace in solitude. Janelle found freedom in her own rhythm. And Kody finally sat still. For the women who've ever carried conversations alone, this story hits different. Sometimes silence isn't rejection, it's reclamation. In the mud, in the quiet, in the mirror of his own mistakes, Kody Brown discovered what control can never teach: humility. But what if there was one message we never heard? Next week, we uncover the letter that changed everything the confession TLC didn't air. Subscribe now. Christine's Letter, the secret chapter of Sister Wives premieres. Sunday, 8 p.m. EST. Do you think Kody deserves redemption, or is this the final chapter of the Brown family? Tell us in the comments, was this Kody's wake-up call or his final fall? Smash the like button if you believe Meri and Janelle deserve their peace. Subscribe for our next exclusive deep dive. Christine Brown, the comeback episode TLC never aired, dropping Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern.